What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Uncle Fred coming back in the house again. And I just heard something. Let me see what that is. I thought I heard a noise over there. Let me see what that is. Yes. What's up, YouTube? It's On Bowl. It's On Bowl, baby. 2021, Alabama and Auburn. You can't get no better than right after Thanksgiving. You eat your Thanksgiving dinner. In the next couple of days, you get ready to prepare for the greatest game in college football, baby. The Iron Bowl. It's Alabama's Auburn. All bets is off. All records is off. But it's all about rivalries. It's all about you don't like them guys down the street. They don't like you. Let's just settle it on the field. Tomorrow, about 2:30 in the afternoon, commenced is at Jordan Hare Stadium. Hey, man, it don't get no better than that. Alabama rolls in 11-1, got their designs on a berth in the college football playoff. Only thing standing in their way is Auburn Tigers coming off a very disappointing loss to South Carolina last week. I think it was 21-17, if I'm not mistaken, dropping them to 6-5. And they'd like nothing better than to spoil our opportunity to go to the college football playoff. So let's just get into this thing. We know they've been playing this game for a long time, long before your boy. Now, I've been here a while. I ain't been here that long. All right. They've been playing this game ever since 1893. Okay, if you can believe that. And believe it or not, Auburn won 6 of the first 8 Iron Bowls. And, but then, Alabama kind of caught up and, met them and then passed them. And I think that the official record is, I believe, 45-36-1. If I'm not mistaken, that's the official record of the 45-36-1 is the official record. And so last half dozen Iron Bowls been like going back and forth. And, I ain't happy about that. We're going to do what we got to do. So let's get into this thing and see what we're talking about here. Let's see, like last year, I do believe we won that thing. I want to think it was like 42-13. And the year before, in 2019, they got us 48-45. Mac Jones threw 2 pick sixes. Never understand that. Whatever, do what you do. The year before that, Tua led a party. They won 52-21. And so that's kind of how that thing went. And then, of course, I think in 17, Auburn was able to beat us. But we won the national championship, bro. That's all right. We're willing to give up that. Yeah, they beat us 26-14. And we went on and still represented in the college football playoffs. Beat Clemson and not Clemson, Notre Dame, sorry. Beat Notre Dame and then turned right around and beat Georgia in the national football on that last second throw by Tua to Devontae Smith. Y'all remember that, don't you? All right, so let's get into this thing. As I said, we ain't gonna tire y'all out too long. We just want to hype this thing up, tell you what Uncle Fred see, what we think gonna happen, and just kind of set the stage for tomorrow's game at about 2:30 at Jordan Hare. All right, let's see what we're going here. Now Alabama comes into this thing with an offense that's averaging well over 40 points a game, led by Heisman Trophy. I'm gonna go on and say it. Heisman Trophy winner. Okay, my man Bryce Young rolling in there, 3,584 yards, 38 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, completing a completion percentage of 71.7%. And he has led that offense, and he's throwing it to none other than Jamison Williams with 58 catches, 1,218 yards. And he's leading, well, I think second in the league in the country with over 20 yards per completion. He's our deep threat, but our old Mr. Reliable is my man John Mechie with 58 catches for 895 yards. If it's third down and 7, you better find number 8 because he's getting open and he's gonna move them chains. But when you're trying to go over the top, it's number 1, Jamison Williams. He's getting behind the secondary and he's gonna do damage. So that's what I look for. On the ground, we looking at my man Brian Robinson Jr. waited his turn, waited behind Damian Harris, waited behind Najee Harris, waited behind Jacobs, waited behind all them guys. Now he finally got his turn. He's a Tuscaloosa, Alabama native, okay? Went to Tuscaloosa Central High School, if I'm not mistaken. He's leading us with 945 yards and about 14 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, averaging 4.9 yards per carry. And he's leading that a very kind of thin offensive backfield because a lot of our guys are gotten injuries. Roydell Williams was lost a couple of games ago to a knee injury. So was Jace McClellan. So we got Trey Sanders backing him up, and then they've actually used Christian Leary, who's actually a linebacker. No, excuse me, Damian Kennedy, who's actually a linebacker to spell some of those things. You can't run it all game or whatnot, so you got to spell them. But we've had a couple of guys go down, so that's what the Alabama Crimson Tide is rolling into Jordan Hare Stadium with that cast of characters. And on defense, led by none other than my man Will Anderson, his 13 and a half sacks, and he's got 78 tackles, 2 pass defenses, and so he's done that. And then also Henry Toa leading us with 84 tackles, 4 sacks, and also had a forced fumble. And of course, my man Christian Harris also with 2 sacks, 3 pass defenses, and 2 interceptions. And that's what. Then we also Phaedron Mathis also has 5.5 sacks. So we rolling in this thing. Defense kind of has not looked as well as I'd like to see them, but they still able to win the game. I think they've given up way too many yards in the pass game. Josh Jobe. And some of the others. Josh Jobe was kind of I was really not happy with him in the Arkansas game, giving up some big plays to I thought less than less than ideal wideouts. He was giving them way too much giving them way too much cushion and battle. He kind of was giving up some things, but he's got 2 interceptions. Both of them, I think, will return for touchdowns. So, and so those guys are doing what they're doing. And so, what are they facing in this year's Iron Bowl? Where are they facing the Auburn team that's sort of in turmoil? As I said, lost a game to South Carolina, which came off of a loss to Mississippi State, and they're really not playing that well. But it would not surprise me if they played well in this game coming up Saturday, because that's what they kind of do. Because the way they look at their program, their season is made if they beat us. But as Alabama, our season ain't made if we beat them. Like I said, back in 2017, we lost to them and turned right around, won national championship, and didn't bother us one bit. But I will say this: one of my concerns is I don't think. And for all the things I love about Nick Saban, he's the guy, he's the GOAT of the coaches. He's like 260 and 24 or something like that since he's been in Alabama or something like that, some ungodly in 14 seasons. But if he loses Saturday, he would have had 6 losses to Auburn. He would be 8-6 versus Auburn, which is just a smidge above 50%. And when you look at the teams that Nick Saban has put together, I don't think you could even mention one team that you thought was better than the team that Nick Saban put on the field. So you have to come to the understanding that maybe he didn't have his guys ready to play to meet the intensity level that Auburn brings, understanding that they're looking at this game as making or breaking their season. So I think with what we got on the table, what we got to lose, the stakes and the cards that we're playing for right now, we got to take this game seriously. And conversely, as you look at some other programs that got rivalries in their playing schedule, say like an Ohio State, they've run into prominence and not have given up any. Last time Michigan beat them was 2011, so we're talking about like 10 straight years. And so that's the kind of dominance that really we should have been able to do at the same time. And I'm not knocking Auburn or anything like that, but as I said, in the 14 years that we've been that Nick has been at Alabama, I think maybe only the first year in 2007 when he was rebuilding the team, and maybe 2010 when they had Cam Newton, could you maybe even think that they had a better team than what Alabama put on the field? So if the other team is not as good, then maybe we're not as prepared to play as we should play. So I'm hoping and praying that this year, understanding what's at stake here, that we'll go in there and trying to take no prisoners. So Auburn comes into the game, and they were led by the incomparable Bo Nix, the son of Patrick Nix, who played at Auburn back in the I think the mid '90s, if I'm not mistaken. He came into the game 2,294 yards with 11 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. But we know a couple of weeks ago, I think it was against Mississippi State, I think he hurt his ankle and broke his ankle, if I'm not mistaken, and he's out for the rest of the season. Okay. So in come TJ Finley, a transfer from LSU, big 6'7", 250-pound guy. He's come in and he's thrown for 463 yards and 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Not real accurate, completing about 52.3% of his passes. So I think with Will Anderson coming off the edge, I think he can wreak some havoc on dude. But he'll load to bring down now. You ain't gonna just bring him down by waving at him. You gotta wrap this guy up and bring him down. That's a big old drink of water, as some old folks used to say. So yeah, you gotta come ready to play. Then in the backfield, I ain't sugarcoating this. That daggum Tank Bigsby, that's a boy right there. That's a grown tail man running the football for Auburn. I think he's leading up with like 940 yards, averaging 5.3 yards a carry and 10 touchdowns. And when he gets them, get that 240, 50 pound or whatever, he's kind of short and stocky is how he's built. When he gets that momentum going, a lot of times defensive backs and stuff are making business decisions. They're really not wanting to tackle that dude. So Alabama better come ready to tackle because they're going to run him early and often at that defense, especially in the middle, where we've shown some vulnerability in certain games. I go back to the Florida game, and I go back to the Arkansas game and some of the other games. I know we give them some stuff in the air, but I've seen some games in Texas A&M where we was giving up a lot of stuff in the middle, and guys got to get more sound fundamentally in the middle. So if you don't, Tank Bigsby gonna be dragging guys across the end zone. So it's a bad boy right there, man. Tank Bigsby, 940 yards and 10 touchdowns. And then backing him up was a guy named Jacquez Hunter. I think he's a freshman, 81 carries, 574 yards, and I think he got a couple of touchdowns too. So that's a nice 1-2 punch that they can bring to the table. They don't really throw it that well. Their leading receiver is Sheldrick Jackson, and has 36 catches for 495 yards. So they make some nice catches here and there, but really if we play the defense where we're supposed to, stop them on the early downs, make them in 3rd and long, I think we should be able to make them, maybe coax them into a couple of turnovers here and there. So that's what I'm hoping to be able to do, what we'll be able to do come Saturday. Now, if we allow them to establish that line of scrimmage, then Auburn has a very good offensive line. Usually they do. Auburn is usually very good on their offensive and defensive fronts. Defensively, they run a 4-2-5 under Derek Mason, who used to be the coach at Vanderbilt and did some work at Stanford some years back. But he's crafted a very good, sound, fundamentally sound defense. And with the 4-2-5 concept is adapted at maybe stacking the line of scrimmage and then not getting beat deep. So and it's sort of encouraging you to attack the middle of the field. And then with the aim is that the quarterbacks won't be patient and take the intermediate throws. Luckily, Bryce Young is the master of the intermediate game. Now, he can get you deep too now because Jameson Williams can get behind just about everybody. The guy runs about a 4.3 40. Okay. But if they're going to play 3 deep shell, then a lot of those 15, 20-yard underneath curls and slants underneath going to be open. And then, but see, what I like about my man Jameson Williams, he'll take a 15-yard slant and get by that first guy, and it's see you at the end zone. Okay, and so that's what we got. That's what we're gonna look at. It looks to be, and we look at it on paper. You know, it should be an Alabama whitewash, but we know these games always are closer than they should be. Okay, and I don't know why. You know, you could say, we're not as prepared. They more intense than we are for the game. It means more to them than it means to us. We're looking at bigger picture things rather than, the things that's right on top of you. Whatever the case might be. Last 4 years, let's look at that. As I said before, Auburn won in 2017, 26 to Alabama won in 2016, 30-12. Auburn won in 2017, 26 to 14. 2018, we won. Alabama won 52-21. Auburn won in 2019, 48-45. Alabama won in 2020, 42-13. So it's kind of been And I thought maybe we should have been able to establish a 7, 8, 9 year dominance like we did over LSU from 2011 to 2019, where we beat them every year. And LSU's been just as formidable as Auburn has been. And I don't know, maybe we look at that game and want to beat them worse than we want to beat. I don't know what the case is, but I know a lot of times Auburn we have not met Auburn's intensity in that game. So I'm hoping with what we have at stake, what we are playing for, and looking at the bigger picture, we're looking at college football playoff berths. We're looking at establishing Bryce Young as a Heisman Trophy candidate and winner. Because right now, in my opinion, he's the front runner. Guys averaging 71.7%, 3,500 yards, 38 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And I thought he's overcome some liabilities in the offensive coordinator, arena with Bill O'Brien, and I thought he's kind of settled that thing down. And I love his poise under pressure; never seems to get rattled. And that it's hard to believe that guy's like a first-time starter, and what he's been able to accomplish. It has our offense, pretty much the tops in college football at averaging over right at 40 points a game and over 500 yards of offense. So. I'm just pleased with everything I've seen from Bryce Young. I don't see any reason why, he shouldn't be sitting there in New York City in a couple of weeks, accepting that trophy, being the first Heisman Trophy winning quarterback at the University of Alabama. And that just got a nice ring to it, don't it? It just do. But business, first things first. We got to go down to the Plains and win. And we got to play a good game, play a sound fundamental game, and win. And then knowing we got to play Georgia a week, 2 weeks after that, and then we'll just kind of see what happens. Certainly, when the season started, I would have been the first one. I told some people that I did not think that I thought this would be a rebuilding season for us. I did not see national championship implications for us this year. because I thought we lost too many players. We lost about 3-4 first-round picks. Mac Jones, first-round pick number 15, going to New England. Landon Dickerson going, getting drafted first round, going to the Philadelphia Eagles. Devontae Smith going to the Eagles. And so I just thought that Patrick Surtain, first round pick, going to the Denver Broncos. So I thought we lost a lot of, veteran leadership. And so Jalen Waddle, first round pick to the Miami Dolphins. Lost a lot of players, man. Lost a lot of players and coaches. Steve Sarkisian, our love Steve Sarkisian and his schemes. His scheme seems to have all the things, all of the questions answered. So when you go back to throw, if option 1 is covered, option B is covered, he's got an option C ready to be used. And it seems like what we playing with this year doesn't seem to have all those options, and a lot of times Bryce is having to wing it. Him and Jameson seem to have to wing it a lot of times. But even that, be that as it may, look at what he's able to do with the numbers that he's been able to put up. So that's why I say that dude's a Heisman Trophy winner. So when you lose all that stuff, and I told people, I said, hey, we're gonna have a rebuild, and I think we'll be, but at Alabama, rebuilding is 11-3. Okay, that's rebuilding for us. That's rebuilding for us. Okay, losing 3 games in the season is like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. Yeah, because anytime we lose 2 games in the season, something's wrong. We didn't. It didn't end the way we wanted to. The last year was just a bonus. We went 13-0, all SEC schedule, beat everybody by double figures, well, except Florida. And it seemed like we scored like 30, 40 points almost in every game. And then in the national championship game, it was anticlimactic. Whooped Ohio State 52-24. Okay. So what am I expecting in this Iron Bowl? Okay. I'm expecting Auburn to hit us first. And I'm expecting us to respond. I'm expecting us to kind of, get up. Oh, no. I got hit. And respond accordingly. So we got all that stuff, and I'm about to be out y'all's way. And because I don't want to belabor this thing too long, but I do want to tell you what old Uncle Fred thinking about this whole rivalry and what's going to happen come tomorrow by Tuesday. Okay. I think Auburn's going to score first, and then we're going to make some adjustments. And then we're going to shut them down for the second quarter throughout the rest of the game. And I think around midway through the second quarter, we're going to catch our stride, score a couple of touchdowns, get up, and then we start to make them one-dimensional. And then I think Will Allen and Christian Harris, Henry Toto, I think Fadrin, I think they're going Mathis, I think they're going to tee off. Okay. I think they're coming. All right. Now I think maybe early they may get Bryce on a pick. Smoke Monday is one of the better safeties in the NFL, and he's definitely for NFL. And he's got just the coolest name, Smoke Monday. Yeah, that's a cool name. That's a cool name. But I think Jameson gonna get you for 1 or 2 tomorrow, and he may get us for a pick. And he's gonna maybe get a couple of tackles for loss. That dude can play. Okay. And I like to give credit and respect where respect and credit is due. Smoke Monday is a great player. Jacoby McClain, that linebacker, he's a monster too. I wouldn't put him in the same class as Will Anderson, but he can play. Okay, so those are the guys that we're gonna be looking for. As far as also Roger McCreary, he's got 2-3 interceptions this year. Those are the guys that Smoke Monday in the secondary. So they're gonna make some plays. Okay. And then we're going to make some adjustments, and I look for us to roll come that second half and just put this thing to bed, put away the women and children. So having said all that, I know y'all wondering what old Uncle Fred thinks the final score going to be. I done said all the things I'm going to say. I don't think you can stretch this thing too far or too wide or too long. Just kind of state what you got to say. And go on with it. So when you put all those things the record, what we're playing for, the players we have, the players they have. We know Gus Malzahn not there no more. They got Brian Harsin, who came from Boise State. It's a different guy. We don't know this guy. Okay, his offense has been led by Mike Bobo. Used to be offensive coordinator at Georgia. Devised some of the offenses under Mark Richt at the University of Georgia. So we not sure what to expect from him. The unpredictability of Gus Malzahn used to keep us off balance, and I will admit that. Don't know what Brian Harsin is going to bring to the table. Okay, so you put that in. You put in Bryce Young with his skill level. You put in Brian Robinson and his skill level. Jameson Williams and golly, what is my man's name? I can't think. Number 8. You know, me and names. And then you factor in the tight ends and all these sorts of things, and you start running all of that in. John Mechie, you start running that in, and so you start. Then you put in that T.J. Finley, not that great of a passer. They got a great running attack. If we can get a couple scores ahead of them, this sort of thing, we can kind of affect the game. Keep putting pressure on them to have to score. You put all that in the vat, you stir it up right good. You stir it up. What do you come up with? I got the Crimson Tide rolling 38-16. That's what I got. And normally we score about 40 to 45 points in a game. I think that's a credit to Auburn's defense. They're going to hold us to 38. But I can't see them scoring more than 16 on our defense. Okay. So my final score is Crimson Tide 38, Auburn Tigers 16. Won't be no War Eagle come tomorrow evening. Okay. All right. And your boy, true to his word, will be back tomorrow evening or possibly even Sunday to tell you what I thought happened and where we go from here. But it's going to be after a Tide victory. We finna get that thing, and we finna bring the Iron Bowl back to it's been in Alabama. It's there, and we're going to do that thing. And so come, this is what we're going to be listening to. Yo, go Alabama. Don't that don't give you just goosebumps when you hear that? You're just thinking about an Alabama touchdown, the guys running through the tunnel. I went to a game at Bryant, then gives you goosebumps when you hear that. Them guys running through the tunnel, running through they got guys lined up on each side, and you got the guys running down the middle. Gives you goosebumps, man. Just gives you goosebumps. So that's all I got from the desk of Uncle Fred during Iron Bowl week. And I'm looking for it. Ain't nothing better than the Iron Bowl. I know Michigan and Ohio State is the granddaddy of them all, or whatever you want to call it. I know USC and UCLA is whatever it is. Oregon and Oregon State, the Civil War, or whatever, all that stuff, all those things. But ain't nothing like the Iron Bowl right here in this great state of Alabama. Ain't nothing like the Iron Bowl. All right. And that's some good football play in the Iron Bowl. And I don't look for nothing to be no different coming this year. But I got the Crimson Tide becoming victorious, 38-16. So holla at your boy. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, make a comment. You like what you see, don't like what you see, don't matter. Just become a part of the Uncle Fred experience, because you know what? I promise you, you won't be disappointed. All right. That's all I got, man. Yeah, Alabama. Let's get this thing and let's see what we gonna do with this college football playoffs. That's all I got from the desk, Uncle Fred. Y'all be good.